We're gonna go in directly into the Board of Supervisors meeting, so this is called to order. And, I guess the first one on here is Honorable Judge Steve Ratcliffe.
If it's okay, I'm gonna get the rest of the judges.
Sure.
to come up here.
Absolutely.
Who's down the right?
You know, usually we're on that side, so this is a little different for us. And before we even get started, I want to say this too, and this is coming from all of us. We appreciate you guys because you've always supported the judiciary and the justice system in Rankin County. It's very obvious. Most all of us have practiced all over the state, and this is a very unique county as far as the support that we get, and we really appreciate that. I've been contacted on several occasions over the years by Craig Slay saying, literally, what can we do for you? What do you want? And that is that's something that we've taken to heart. We really appreciate that. But what we're here on today is our public defender system. As y'all know, by statute, the Board of Supervisors determines whether we have a public defender system set up in the county. If we don't, what the judges do is we have to appoint private lawyers to come in. They bill, we submit the bill, and that type of thing. You decided years ago, no, we want public defenders. You have funded that system for a number of years, and it's been much appreciated. We have a great public defender system. We've got some really good attorneys that do that. What we are here today is to ask for an increase in their pay. I'm not exactly sure because we've gotten some different responses to exactly how much they make right now, but it is considerably less, what we have seen, considerably less than the majority of the counties that are about our size. We have about correct me if I'm wrong on this, I think we've got about 165,000 people in Rankin County, is that right?
We say 170.
170, okay, I like the 170 mark anyway. So what we did was, myself, Judge Arthur, Judge Mills, Judge Morrow, Judge Roberts, all of us got together and said, hey, look, let's look around and let's see what other ones are making. We have a number of those right now. Judge Mills has got the majority of them that can tell you we went from Hancock, Harrison County, DeSoto County, Grenada County. We did about 7 or 8 different counties to see about what the average was. I can tell this board what that average is, or at least what they are making. I've got a copy of some of those orders that some of the judges sent me. And once again, it's probably some of them are up to $20,000 and $30,000 a year more with less people in the county than we have. So in order to keep a good public defender system, we feel like they need a raise. Simple as that. We've got Judge Morrow here as our county court judge. Obviously, Judge Morrow handles a tremendous amount of initial appearances for us. He has, Judge, I don't want to step on your toes. You can tell him what you do mostly.
Well, I'll just tell you, if you go right straight to the bottom line, you're going to spend money to save money. Because with a good public defender, and I have one in my courtroom that's paired with the district attorney's office, and those two people, if they're the right match, go into the jail. We talk about people who've been arrested. We can get people out of that jail quicker and either get them on MDOC's check or either get them out for time served to get them off your money that you're spending. And that's a way more efficient way, plus the liability exposure is less because we're getting people out of the jail. The sheriff's office does a great job of working with that. We have a great system. I would think probably in January, I took, and it was a partial month, maybe six or seven guilty pleas out of the jail, which at $2,500 a month immediately saves you $12,000, $15,000. Plus, if they didn't plead guilty now, they might be there for another 60, 90 days. That's another $2,500 a month for each one of those people. So we're going to save money at the end of the day, but we can't save money until we spend it on the front end with a good public defender, not just any public defender, but a good public defender. That's the key here for me.
Y'all probably know I've had the job. I was a public defender in circuit court for 10 years, justice court for 3 years. I was on the CJA panel, which handles the overflow for the federal court. for 8 years, most importantly for the circuit court, for the 10. By state statute, you've got two kinds of offices, either part-time or full-time. The part-time allows the part-time public defenders to have a private practice. If you're full-time, you have to fully fund them. They have to make, I think what the county attorney does if they're full-time. There's nothing part-time about the job, though. It's a minimal 25 hours a week, okay? You've got a case, you're talking 40 hours a week. Before I quit in 2017, I was working about 65 hours a week between the two of them. Let me give you some numbers. Lafayette County pays $52,000 plus benefits. Madison County is $54,349 plus benefits. DeSoto County, $73,844 plus benefits. We have a municipality here, Flowood's paying $30,000 a year for misdemeanors, okay? I've looked at that, well, yeah, but we're talking misdemeanors, okay? Our public defenders just handle felonies. Caseload wise, I pulled them this morning. This is what is assigned to the public defenders right now for 2024. Abram Sellers has got 92 cases. He's got 18 cases set for the term of March between myself and Judge Arthur. That's 18 felonies. Everybody's got about 15 to 18 set in March. Most private attorneys don't get 18 cases a year, okay? Felony cases, all right? They're handling 18 in a 6-week term. It's a full-time job. It's $40,000. I left in 2017 because I wasn't paying enough money. They asked me to come back multiple times. Not coming back, not getting paid enough money. I was losing money. We don't give them anything for expenses, okay? The law says you have to give your client a copy of discovery, okay? I was averaging about 150 pages of discovery per client. I have to give them a copy. I've got to give one myself. My cost was about 20 cents, all right? I don't get any reimbursement for that. That was running me about $500, $750 a month out of my pocket that I wasn't getting paid back for. And the law required me to do it. I was getting paid way more in federal court. The public defenders we got now, I don't think they realized what they're being paid per case. When I left in 17, it was about $300 a case. I was charging $300 an hour in my private practice. If I've got 40 hours in a case, and believe me, you can have it, you average at the minimal 4 hours per case. By the time you go to court, meet with the client, go over discovery, that's a minimum. You got a try case, it could be 40 hours. Do the math on that. You're losing money, it's minimum wage, is what it boils down to. Not only that, they use their offices, their secretaries, they don't get paid through their private practice. I don't know that you could have this job if you don't have a private practice, because you've got to have your own office, you got to have your own staff and assistant, and $45,000 a year just didn't cut it. I can't get competitive people to come in and do the job.
I
What do
thought
you
we paid
suggest?
50. I thought we were at 50.
I got the number. I met with the payroll lady here the other day. She gave me $45,000 as the normal public defender. Mr. Sellers makes a little bit more because he's the chief public defender. We also have what we call a special public defender that handles drug courts, arraignments. They make a little bit more because they got drug court. They're also running back and forth to Madison County because it's a combined drug court. Okay, so they get a little bit more.
What would you think would be a fair cost that we should look at, and how many we, I don't even know how many we have. 2 plus 1. 5.
Well, we've got 6.
6 total.
6 total. Oh no, so that's 7 total. We got 6 that handle a caseload. The 7th, the other one handles arraignments, initial appearances, drug courts, revocations. Chancery does commitments over in Chancery.
So we have
And it's really
6 or
time consuming.
7
Right.
We
part-time.
have
Part-
7 spots.
7 spots total.
All right.
Part-time.
Out of the 7, one of them's at juvenile, right? Or
No.
No.
no? What about justice court?
That's separate from us.
That's separate from y'all?
Yeah, that's separate from us.
Okay.
Yeah, for the county, I'm not sure how many I know you got one in justice court, I don't know how many's at youth court,
Two.
but 7 in circuit court.
I was
You got two
thinking,
part-time,
I was thinking about
part-time.
justice court.
Right.
Okay.
As far as fair amount goes, at a minimal what they're making in Madison. And you gotta understand that Madison's caseload is about half of what Rankin County's is. And they're making basically $10,000 more a year for half the work. When I first took the bench, I was like, shoot, I should have been a public defender in Madison years ago. I mean, that's, way less. I think 60 is a fair number based on what they're getting, but at a minimal, what they're making in Madison County. We don't need just lawyers. We need competent lawyers. We need people who've got experience, can try cases, that can move the docket. If we can't move the docket, it's costing y'all money, all right? And we're not getting anywhere. We're not moving the docket. I can't find anybody right now, we've got an open spot, with any credible experience that'll do it. Everybody I've talked to has said, not for the money, not for the money. I have said this, and I mean it, the best thing I ever did in my career was be a public defender in circuit court. I learned so much. I've tried more cases in 10 years than most lawyers I know that have done it in 30 years. My biggest regret is not leaving earlier, because I realized the amount of money that I lost. And that's just being honest.
Judge, though.
Yeah. I may. I lost a little money taking this job. We want to talk about it. Private practice was a little more lucrative. But we've got to get them more money. Y'all got to get some money where we can get some people in there. I've got people now, they could go to Native County and get $60,000 for a tenth of the volume of cases that they've got right now. It's worth the drive. It's worth the drive, I mean, you make, they pay a mileage. We got to keep them from going to other counties.
So-
We got to get them some money.
All the judges, all of y'all have the same feeling on this.
Well, I have a different, I'm here I'm advocating on behalf of a pay raise, but I'm also advocating on a little bit more than just a pay raise too, and I believe that's why Judge Ratcliffe asked me to come, and I don't mean to speak out of turn, and I don't take credit for this idea. This is Judge Odom's and our kind of combined thoughts together, but, and just so that I can, if you need the historical context, on the civil side, we've never until recently, outside of mental health commitments, had to appoint a lawyer for someone on the civil side like you have to do on the criminal side, okay? However, over the last 5 years, the legislature and the appellate courts have said in situations on drug and alcohol commitments, and in situations where a defendant is indigent and incarcerated in termination of parental rights cases, that we must, on the civil side, appoint a lawyer. We came back to this board 2 or 3 years ago and said that it would be financially beneficial to the county if we just borrowed a public defender rather than every time Judge McClellan, Judge Odom, and myself had to appoint a lawyer for these defendants, it would save money in the long run. I still believe that today. One of the problems now, our alcohol and drug commitments are flowing smoothly with representation from the public defender's office. There's been no issues. The problem that Odom and I have, and he can certainly speak on this if he's got a different take on it, but I think we're on the same page, is that in the termination of parental rights cases, and unlike in the criminal realm, the public defender who is representing these defendants, they're not always here in Rankin County. In fact, they're not usually in Rankin County. I've had, this past year, one in the Leake County Correctional Facility, Winston County Correctional Facility, Greene County Correctional Facility. And what has happened is our previous public defender would send us an order for NDOC to transport. They would maybe transport them to Rankin County earlier, they'd stay till court, or they may just bring them that day. The lawyer comes in, meets with the defendant, and within 5 or 10 minutes, I'm presented a document where the defendant has terminated their parental rights voluntarily. Now, that may be what they ultimately and really want to do. but the optics of it look horrible. What really needs to happen is the moment we appoint someone in the case, that lawyer needs to go see them in the facility that they are in and meet with them and let them mull over, think about whether or not they want to contest this hearing or agree to it. And it's going to save money, because if they agree to it, we don't have to have them transported to court. So I am advocating that we reimburse reasonable expenses for these public defenders that have to incur costs such as travel, mileage, meals if they've got to go, certainly copy fees, those types of things, because of what's required they've got to give, because it is causing me very much heartburn and pause in my spirit when I am presented with a document terminating one's parental rights after only meeting with the lawyer for just a few minutes. And it happens quite often. The gentleman and I spoke, perhaps in 2023, between the 3 places in Chancery Court, we probably had a dozen cases in 2023 where we need the defender to go travel to a facility outside the confines of Rankin County. So I am asking that you all consider, in addition to a raise, that these public defenders be reimbursed for their reasonable expenses such as mileage, meals, and any incidental expenses that they may incur traveling to those facilities. And I am willing to enter whatever orders need to be entered on the Chancery side to cover you all if necessary, ordering you all. I am never, I say this, we're on record, not gonna send an order over here without learn that's not the proper way by just sending orders over here. I've watched that happen before. I'm always gonna come talk to you about it. But
Unfunded mandate.
that's it. But if you need an order, I will sign it to cover those reasonable, ordering the county to pay those reasonable expenses, absolutely. So I would hope that you could consider that within the budget. You got any additional, he's a lot more eloquent and smarter than I am.
I agree.
So thank you for your time.
Appreciate you.
I also want to echo to a sentiment that Judge Ratcliffe made. We could have decided not to come publicly and do all this, y'all. We could have met with Craig and Keith, and we could have talked with you all. And,
I'm glad you did.
well, and I am too, and this is why
People
because
need to hear.
we don't get an opportunity to thank you all
Yeah.
for what you do as well. Y'all have always supported us. We don't ever have any issues. And all the lawyers unequivocally come in our courthouse and they say, "Thank God I'm in Rankin County." You guys, it's amazing that y'all all talk together. You all know each other. You all have each other's cell phone numbers. If Judge Ratcliffe calls me and I'm on the bench, I step down and take it. If I call him, he steps. I mean, we just all, even though we don't see eye to eye on every single issue, we all get along for the benefit of the county, and that includes you all as well. And we don't get the opportunity as judges to come out on a platform and say, "Thank you," or "We need," and so I think it was important to come publicly today on the record to say, "Thank you," and "We need." And I hope by our unity here today, you understand how the gravity of the situation. So, thank y'all.
Appreciate
Thank
y'all coming.
Thank you. And you know, we get asked questions of why you did this and don't we pay them enough? Nah. Well, if they're interested, they can see, they can hear for themselves.
I want to say this real quick too, and Abram's here with us, and those of you that don't know Abram Sellers, Abram is our chief public defender, and he's our chief public defender for a reason. Matter of fact, we didn't think he would take the job, and the reason why is because his practice is very, very big, it's good, I'm sure it's profitable, let me put it that way. But he has told us, he came to us, he wants to help people. That's what he likes to do. I will tell you this, and this is not just to prop him up. I'd put any criminal defense attorney up against him any day. I mean, there's none.
What's your phone number?
I'll say this, you don't want my number. When friends and family ask me for an attorney,
Yeah.
I send them to Sellers.
Yeah.
And they come back and they say, "He's a public defender," and my response is, "He has won more cases than any other attorney I know."
We almost good powers.
We came up together as public defenders, so
We have had a problem obtaining good public defenders. I know Mr. Slay was aware, one situation we had, in order for us to obtain good public defenders, we have to be able to pay at least equivalent of Madison County. And I love telling people Rankin County justice system is the best.
Well, yeah.
I love telling people that. And then when my friend who's a public defender in Choctaw County looks at me and says, yeah, but I make more money than your public defenders, I have this moment where I go, ooh, that hurts. I mean, I feel like we're better than Choctaw County. I feel like we're better than Winston County. And all we're asking for is y'all is the pay to at least be on par with the sister county Madison.
And the reason why we use that is because we're at the 20th Circuit, with the 20th District. And so
Yep.
that's our, the district attorney's office, of course, is in both counties. The judges are in both counties. Public defenders are not in both counties, but they do talk and that type of thing. And they, like we said before, our public defenders here in Rankin County have a bigger caseload. They just do.
What Andre got what's his
He's
title?
the head of the state public defender office that Rankin County has the best public defender corps in the state. And I practice all over the state, and I get to go see these other public defender offices in these other counties, and I'll put myself aside. The group of lawyers that I work with as public defenders, I believe they are the best in the state. I mean, they move our cases, they can try cases, they go around the state trying cases, so.
Well, they don't have to be really good now.
Well, I mean, good.
I'm playing, that's a joke.
I would tell you, though, the more, the good lawyers make us more efficient.
Yep.
When we're more
We
efficient.
go quicker
save
to
you
court,
money.
evidence,
When
everything
when
goes.
we're inefficient,
Snap.
we're costing
Yeah.
you money.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
And I'll be frank, I knew we had a problem in the past. When the first issue on appeal is ineffective assistance of counsel, it gives me a pause.
Yeah.
With our current public defender corps, the people we currently have, that issue never
No.
gets raised. It's never an issue on appeal, ineffective assistance. Our reversal rate is minuscule.
Yeah.
It's the lowest in the state. And the Supreme Court has said publicly, Rankin County and Madison County tries more cases than anybody in the state, and we have the lowest reversal rate.
Which saves a lot of money. That's money that we
Yeah,
don't think about
right.
if it comes back.
Again.
Having to pay.
Yep.
I can tell you this, when I was PD, I would get numerous calls about somebody in the jail that had cancer or came in with the dialysis. It was costing the county a fortune. Technically, we didn't have to take cases until we were assigned. But I never told the sheriff no. Okay, Ronnie Andrews, when he was running the jail, I never told him no. Drop what I was doing, go over there, see him, get him moved through the system. If somebody over there on dialysis cost, got $10,000 a day or a week, whatever it is, and they could sit over there for months.
Yeah.
And we get them moved through, put them back on state's dime, get them out, whatever. And they still do that today. This, what we call a special public defender, his job is mainly trying to keep the jail cleaned out like
Clean.
that.
Yeah.
But the others step in and do it all the time, because he can only do so much.
Yeah.
Y'all got anything you need to ask us?
Judge Morrow, you had said 6 public defenders, 1 drug court,
No.
and then 2 at the youth. I'm
So
trying to
just
get my
so you know,
numbers right.
I have a federal grant, I do the drug court.
Okay.
And I pay the drug court public defender out of the federal grant. Those
Strike
funds
that.
aren't from y'all.
Strike that.
I use the federal grant to pay those funds, okay? It allows me to pay those funds, so that's not something that the county should have to pick up. Even though statutorily we have to have them.
We're talking about 7 right now. We have 6 spots filled. We
And
just
then
hired- We
Justice-
just hired one this past week. We had 2 open spots. We just hired one this past week, and we're looking for the 7th one right now.
The 2 that Justice has, they don't overlap?
No.
They're 2 separate.
Yeah, and see, we're not even talking about youth court. There's 2
Right.
part-time public defenders in
Yeah.
youth court who do the same thing, but their load is all children, and
Yeah.
families of children. So they have the same problem the rest of these guys have. But, so we got 6 regular and working circuit, we have a 7th that does a little carryover, which is a lot of mine, a lot of chancery, those type of things. Then you got 2 in youth court, and then whatever justice court's got. One in justice court.
So we're looking at $1 million a year. And
They're currently making 48,000.
but I'm saying, if we go up,
You're looking at 7 that make 54.5, something like that. I can give you the exact number,
Okay.
plus benefits.
They
We
make
just-
45,
Right, I understand, but if the request is met, let me put it that way. Because if we
We're not
match,
paying benefits on these guys.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
We are?
yes,
Okay,
their benefits and perks.
so, which
And
me,
so-
a million.
So is Madison.
Um,
So is
Yeah.
So
all
look,
right.
y'all just remember us when it gets budget time, so that, whenever we have to make moves to help support our county, we definitely want y'all there to help support us.
I don't know what he's talking about, but I agree. All right, we will work, I'll do everything I can to make, this champion. We are only as good as y'all are. I don't care where you're at in Rankin County. You guys are the reason that Rankin County's great. And I'm serious about that. When we lose the type men, leaders in our judgeships, it all starts falling apart. Thank y'all. I promise you, I'm gonna do everything I can to help.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all coming in.